Hey, this is UFO Buster Radio, UFO News Report number 14. And I'm sure you've already seen this in the article, and as a matter of fact, if you have been watching any kind of news, or if you receive any kind of notification from your mobile apps, you are aware that there was a significant find in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Now, you might be thinking, just listening to this, if you even bothered to play this episode, is why in the world is the Moonraker discussing Nazi artifacts from Argentina? We'll get to that in a moment. But let's talk about what they found. So according to this, the Argentinian government discovered a bas-relief of Adolf Hitler, magnifying glasses inside an elegant box that had swastikas on it, medical devices used to measure head. They found toys, which apparently were used to indoctrinate kiddies into the quote-unquote Nazi way, a few weapons, and an hourglass that had the Nazi symbol on it. You know, that Nazi eagle. What led up to this basically was that there was some collector that apparently had some illicit items at a particular gallery, and it tipped off the Argentinian government. The Argentinian government decided to get an order from a judge to go search this guy's place. So up to 75 different objects were located in this collector's home in the city of Becar, which is a suburb north of Buenos Aires. And apparently, they were pretty shocked by what they found, because they said what they find is a bunch of fake stuff or, copies, forgeries. Historians here are saying that these are all original items. Included in these is a picture of Hitler holding magnifying glasses, and it just so happens that in that box, within this collection, in this hidden room that was in this guy's home, it appears that the same magnifying glass that Hitler was holding in the picture is in this collection as well. Another thing was a negative of the Fuhrer was found in this. And you know what? The story with the whole connection between the Nazis fleeing Germany at the time that the war was lost and headed towards Argentina is something that was validated, because of course you have arrests that were made in Argentina of some of Hitler's peeps. One particular arrest happened when the Israeli Mossad agents captured a Holocaust mastermind by the name of Adolf Eichmann in Argentina. And just so happens that he lived in Buenos Aires. So Argentina is not exactly a stranger to high-ranking Nazi folks hanging out, getting away from the international law for their crimes. But of course, the finding itself was incredible. Now, I know earlier today when I first came across this article, I saw something that there were also some Egyptian artifacts that were found in this room. Strangely enough, not only can I not find that article that mentioned the Egyptian artifacts, I don't find it mentioned anywhere else. So now, back to the reason why is this on UFO Buster Radio. One of the conspiracies regarding the Nazis and their apparent research into UFO type technologies is that the reason why the Nazis escaped to Argentina was because they had a base in Antarctica, and that a tunnel was created that linked southern Argentina to Antarctica in order for them to run supplies. Now, that still might be a little bit far-fetched as far as conspiracies go. But the fact that in 2017 we still have these artifacts actively running around being peddled in Buenos Aires is very strange, don't you think? And why in the world would anyone have toys related to the activities of the Nazis and trying to get children to be indoctrinated into their beliefs, into their Aryan beliefs? Isn't that kind of weird? Is this really just a collection for someone that's trying to get rid of this stuff? Or is it someone that believes and is still living that perspective of humanity? Now, the Nazi connection to UFOs in Antarctica is something that is consistently brought up year after year. Just last year, there was a story about John Kerry heading to Antarctica, and this was broken by Security Team 10, in order to check out the Nazi base that was found in Antarctica. And most recently, we've had other people that have been rumored to be heading to Antarctica, not to check out the fact that it's a frozen world which is being impacted by global warming, but because they're saying that these leaders, these heads of state, have been consistently heading towards Antarctica in order to get a first-hand look at the Nazi base and a crashed UFO. Some reports say that this UFO is about 3 miles in width. There's other folks like Albert Bender, who in 1962 was the person that was the head of the International Flying Saucer Bureau out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. Mr. Bender claimed that he was abducted by aliens and they took him to an underground base in Antarctica. Of course, Mr. Bender went on to explain how the aliens were in a form of men and they had beautiful females, and that the purpose of the base was to extract chemicals from seawater to send back to their home planet. They also explained to him that if mankind would attack the base, that they had the ability to detonate every single atomic warhead on the planet. So basically, they're telling him the reason why we're still here is because we can blow you guys up and take our mining operation somewhere else. So the stories regarding the Nazis is that the Nazis became aware of these ETs and their presence in Antarctica, and so that's why they had some kind of technology in order to create that Nazi bell that we see in pictures and other saucers. So going back to Argentina, apparently no one is going to be arrested. However, the collector is being closely watched, and listen, these artifacts are going to end up going into a Holocaust museum in Argentina once they've cataloged these things and figured out their authenticity, which right now some historians have already been there and have pretty much said that these are the original items straight out of Germany. And so these things, like I said, are going to end up in a museum. So even right now, the Argentinian government is saying that the finding is so significant that it's additional irrefutable proof that the top leaders who escaped Nazi Germany did end up living in Argentina. So the question for us here at UFO Buster Radio is, because there is still a connection to the Nazis in Argentina, because we have this conspiracy theory that the reason why they're there is because they were looking to, have supplies routed, shipped from the country over to their base in Antarctica, and the fact that so many heads of states have been heading down to Antarctica for an alleged tour of the alien ship and the alien base that apparently was also part of Nazi getaway plan, that maybe there is some kind of truth to this. And listen, we all know there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there that have a part of truth to them. You know, there is some percentage of what these conspiracies say because they are based on truth. But does the truth just end in Argentina? Does it not really go into Antarctica? As a matter of fact, and just recalling right now, in December, Buzz Aldrin also was evacuated from Antarctica because he had a medical emergency. There is something in Antarctica, and it's not just Security Team 10 that's spreading this word. What do you think? Do you think that there is an alien base in Antarctica? Or did the Nazis have a base where they continue their research into their flying bell or UFO saucers? Or does it all just end in Argentina and this is just a bunch of nonsense? You let me know what you think. This is episode 14. I'm signing out. I'll talk to you guys on Friday. Laters.